What's up, y'all? This is your boy D Money coming to you with my first ever show. Put some money on it. I'd like to apologize to y'all off rip about the delay in the video. We had some difficulties with some of the technical stuff going on. We were trying to work through it to get that situated, but I just wanted to make sure I still bring y'all the show this week. This week we're going to be discussing the NFL power rankings by me. All right, not by anybody else. This is what I did, my own research, my own thoughts going into this. It's nobody else's words on this. It's just mine. All right, so here we go. We're going to jump right into the list. At number 32, we got the New England Patriots. They do not have anything valid to be a team in the NFL, I don't think, right now. The quarterback position is trash. They've missed on a bunch of wide receivers. They don't have a running game. The only thing that keeps them afloat really is that defense. I don't think it's going to be enough for them to make any noise this year. They have them winning anywhere between 1 and 3 games this season, just based on the schedule and everything that they have going on. At number 31 is the Carolina Panthers. They're in a similar boat with the New England Patriots. The only reason they're at 31 and not 32 is I believe that the Panthers have a little bit more weapons in their toolbox than that the Patriots have. I still think they're going to struggle being in the division that they're in, and I have them winning probably 3 at the most 5 games this season as well. I got me a little side bet. Somebody told me, one of my watchers told me that the Panthers going to win 10 games. Got us a little Johnny Walker Blue Label on that. So we getting toasted after the season. Come on up with me. Number 30, we got the New York Giants. Now, all 3 of these teams could have been interchangeable at one point. The only thing that ranks one above the next is the weapons that I believe the team has. The Giants do have a little bit more weapons than the Panthers. They have an electric receiver in Malik Neighbors. I'm really a big fan of him. He went to my favorite college at LSU, so he's got a big place in my heart. I just think he'll be able to get that team afloat. They'll probably win anywhere between 5 to 7 games, but nothing really dangerous whatsoever. And number 29, the Tennessee Titans. They could have been lower on this list. I just think that they are a tougher football team than the rest, though. Will Levis was one of those not a proven commodity, but he was serviceable, I guess, for Tennessee. Made some plays, made some bad decisions. After a year in the league, we'll see what he's able to do for that team. I still have them finishing last in their division, but they're better than these previous 4 teams, in my opinion. 28 is the Denver Broncos. I don't believe anything in this Bo Nix situation. I'm surprised that they even took him that early. He doesn't have any weapons out there for him to use. It's going to be crazy what's going to actually happen for them on the field. I don't trust what the Broncos are going to put out there. Got them finishing last in the AFC West. Sean Payton's supposed to be some quarterback whisperer. I don't think he's going to be that at all for Bo Nix. They could win 5 games at the most. I don't have them really getting outside of that. Number 27, we got Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. I do like the addition of Marvin Harrison Jr. I do think Malik Neighbors was better. That's just my opinion. But Marvin Harrison's no slouch. My issue is their quarterback position. I don't think that they have a serviceable one back there at the moment. Anytime that your team has to put a contract in your contract clause that they need you to study more and not play so many video games, I think that you have an issue at your quarterback position. And then on top of that, there's rumors this year going on that he would be interested in going back to play baseball. I don't know how true it is, but it's just an interesting story getting ready to kick off a season and your quarterback is more interested in playing baseball. Continuing on with our list, at number 26, we have the New Orleans Saints. Even though I believe they're a really good defensive team, I think they're equally as bad on the offensive side of the ball. It starts with their quarterback that they really don't have at all. I like Chris Olave, and I don't mind Alvin Kamara, but the issue is they don't always show up, and it's partial. I give partial blame to their quarterback. When he's not playing up to par, it's hard for those other guys to play up to par. So I have the Saints coming in at number 26 to start the season. At number 25, I hate to put this team there. I love their head coach. Wish he could eventually coach the Cowboys, but probably not going to happen. Mike Tomlin and the Steelers, I got them at 25. I think they suffer from the same issues of the Saints. They just have a more veteran quarterback, I believe. But they don't have weapons outside of George Pickens and what's supposed to be Najee Harris as in the running game. The running game has been non-existent for Pittsburgh ever since Le'Veon left. So I don't really put too much trust in that for them this season. And I believe the running game would actually help Russell Wilson better. But unfortunately, they currently do not have one. So I got them coming in at number 25. At number 24, we're going to have the Los Angeles Chargers. I don't know why I always want to. I'm switching their name back to San Diego. I don't know why. But anyway, they're going to be here at 24. Justin Herbert is supposed to be the messiah for the quarterback position. I have not yet seen it. And he had weapons last season and for the season that he's been in the league, and now you took those weapons away and didn't replace those weapons. So it's hard to believe that he's going to be any better with the weapons he has now than he was last year. So I think this might be the beginning of the end for Justin Herbert and those guys. Coming in at 23, they could have been a little higher with J.J. McCarthy starting, but unfortunately I got the Vikings here at number 23. And the only reason I say higher with J.J. McCarthy is because he's a fantastic game manager. So I think he would have gave the opportunities to the Vikings to stay in games because he doesn't turn it over. But unfortunately, J.J.'s not going to be there with the team this year. I still like the weapon outside with Justin Jefferson. He's an LSU guy. So you know I love my LSU guys. He's one of the best receivers in the league right now. So I think he'll be able to keep that team afloat for a while. At number 22, we're going to put the Las Vegas Raiders. And this might come as a surprise to some people, but I got them here because the team plays for their coach. I don't mind Aiden O'Connell. I think he actually played pretty decent to be thrown into the fire last year. He wasn't fantastic, but I don't think it was fantastic by any stretch, but he played decent enough. I think it's going to be good to watch him grow this season with that receiving core. And their running game as well. So that's going to be pretty good. I think that I have them finishing second in that division overall, just based on the rest of that division as a whole. I think I have them finishing second right now. Number 21, this team is just consistent throughout their years. It's the Seattle Seahawks. They're just very well-rounded. Always going to be a good defensive team. They're always going to have some type of offense to be able to compete and keep them in games. And for that reason there, I have the Seahawks at number 21. I think that they need another quarterback to take them over the hump, because right now they're good on the weapon side of the things, but they're going to struggle because their quarterback he can't take them to the promised land. He's gotten them to their hump right now, and that's about all he can do for their team, I believe. But in order to get them over that hump, I think they're going to have to go add another quarterback. We are getting down into the nitty-gritty of our list. We got the top 20 teams remaining now. Coming in at number 20 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have a really good defensive team there. I'm not really a big fan of Baker Mayfield, but he was able to play really decent for that team last year. They bring back the majority of their offensive weapons, so that's always good for your team's development. I believe they'll be able to challenge in that NFC South and win a couple games. The only team I have them losing to in that division is the Atlanta Falcons right now. Everybody else they can beat, and that's going to allow them to challenge some other teams down the stretch and put themselves in the position to end up fighting for a playoff spot. Coming in number 19, I live in the Indianapolis area, and all I hear now is the hype on Anthony Richardson and the Colts. I'm excited to see how these fans take the season. Excited to see how Anthony Richardson does in his second season as the starting quarterback for this team. Hopefully he's learned to protect himself better than he did in the past. Hopefully they're able to keep that running game. They do have a nice set of receivers over there. Questions on the defensive side of the ball a little, but I have them coming in at 19 to start the season. At number 18 is the Atlanta Falcons. This is my division winner for the NFC South. They just have the better team than everybody else in that division, hands down. They have the better quarterback, better wide receiver, a better running game. I don't believe there's anybody that's going to be able to contend with them. They should win this division hands down going away. That's not saying much, though, because I still don't have them going far in the playoffs. They're probably going to be a first-round exit, but it's just nice to see them trying to trend in the right direction at this time. At number 17, I have Sunshine and the Jaguars. Trevor's going to have to get them boys ready to play this season. He's running on a short leash. Even though he got his money, and he got paid in the offseason, he hasn't been producing as he should be as a number one pick. And he can't say it's because of weapons anymore. Since he's come in, he's had all the weapons. and they keep retooling his weapons every offseason, at this point, he's going to have to show up and be that quarterback, that top quarterback that they've paid. I don't think that they're going to be able to contend for anything truly. They're going to be fighting for second or third in that division right now. So I have them coming in on the list at number 17. Number 16 is my second surprise on the list. It's going to hurt my heart to cheer for this team, but I have to because they have my quarterback in Jaden Daniels. That's my boy. The Commanders. I got the Commanders here at number 16 now. I do believe in their weapon, some of their weapons, not all of them. But I believe in Jaden Daniels a lot more. I love his ability to throw the ball downfield. I love his running ability. My only question is if he's going to be able to get down and protect himself and not take big hits. He's a smaller frame quarterback, and if he starts taking those licks too early, his career could be shortened. So as long as he protects himself, I actually have the Commanders doing pretty well in this season and being able to build on top of this season in the future. So I have them coming in number 16. Number 15, I put this team on the list before I even finished, started the whole list, and they have to be here before the end of the season. And that's the Chicago Bears. I do not appreciate the way that they treated Justin Fields. We can get into that later, but they did Justin Fields dirty. Got him out of there as if he was a problem, and then they bring in Caleb Williams and give him all the weapons that he needs to be successful, but never gave Justin Fields any weapons. I do not agree with that. So with that, they have to finish 15. They have Keenan Allen. They've got DJ Moore. They brought in Rome Odunze. They got DeAndre Swift, and they got a nice tight end. There's no reason why he can't be 15. He doesn't need to make the playoffs for me the first season, but he needs to be 15th on the list. He has to be 15. Out of all the teams, he needs to be at 15. Otherwise, this whole process was a bust. All right, moving right along. We're at number 14 now. At 14, we have the Buffalo Bills. They have a lot of turnover from their roster from last year to this year, and they actually had some injuries coming into this training camp and into the regular season. So I believe it's going to hurt them a lot, especially on that offensive side of the ball, losing Stephon Diggs, losing Gabe Davis, and bringing in two new guys to be Josh Allen's number 1 and number 2 targets. Not really sure how that's going to pan out for them. They still should be kind of tough, but it's not looking good for them this season. This will probably be the first season that they lose the AFC East title unless they can come up with something quick on the offensive side of the ball. Coming in at number 13, they have no choice but to be in the top 15 because of what they have on defense and then the weapons that they have on offense. But to me, they are still underachieving with what they have on their roster. This is the Cleveland Browns. There's no reason what the Browns should be that powerful on defense and have so many names on the offensive side and be that lackluster in their performances. Hopefully they can turn it around and start making some progress. I am a big Deshaun Watson fan, but he's been making me look like a fool here recently. So hopefully they can get that thing turned around over there in Cleveland. I got them coming in at number 13. And number 12, we got another AFC North team. My boy Joe Burrow and the Bengals. They finally got Jamar Chase under contract. I don't know what took so long, why they were crying about it. You know you got a top target on your team. You know it's Joe Burrow's favorite guy. Get him under contract. Kind of worry about the running game a little bit, but Joe Burrow can throw that thing around the yard, so they should be good to go on that end. I think they should challenge, with Jamar Chase being back, they probably start off slow again, but I think they challenge the Ravens for that number 1 spot in the AFC North. And then Joe Burrow is one of those only quarterbacks in the AFC that's beat Patrick Mahomes, so you guys got to watch out for that. At number 11, interesting team here. They really didn't do well based on their quarterback injury that they received last year, but they're bringing back a lot of talent on both sides of the football. The New York Jets. They have no choice but to be ranked this high because of everything that they have on their roster. Hopefully they can put it all together and we don't have to worry about, oh man, is it Aaron Rodgers, his final years or whatnot. We already know it is, but we don't want any more excuses for this Jets roster. They've made all the right moves. They brought in all the right people. So now it's just time to put out the effort on the football field. Got the Jets coming in at number 11. At number 10, the Philadelphia Eagles probably put together the best team on paper every year. I don't know how they do it with all the salary cap and all this other stuff, but they probably put together one of the best teams on both sides of the ball every single season. And nothing's really changed now. They did lose Jason Kelsey. They also lost Fletcher Cox. So they lost some leadership in that locker room. Not really sure how it's going to pan out for them. But as of right now, they got them number 10 in those rankings. I really hate the St. Louis Rams. Or they're not St. Louis anymore. It's Los Angeles Rams. I really hate them. Probably because of my cousin. But I really hate the Rams. But Sean McVay gets those guys ready to play football. Puts guys in positions to make plays for the team. I don't trust anything they have on the defensive side, but the offense should keep them competing, especially in that division. So I have them coming in at number 9 right now. All right, continuing on down the list. We're in the top 8 right now, all right? Here we go. We got the Houston Texans coming in at number 8. I love everything about the Houston Texans, what they were able to do with their team this offseason. They brought in Stephon Diggs as a veteran to mentor Nico Collins and Tank Dell. They still have Dalton Schultz at tight end, former Dallas Cowboy. They brought in Joe Mixon. On the defensive side of the ball, they're very, very stout. D'Amico has those young men playing really good football. I just believe the Texans are the best team in the AFC South. They should be challenging some of the top tier teams this season moving up. Hopefully CJ Stroud doesn't have a sophomore slump, but I have these guys at 8 as of right now in the power rankings. At number 7, we have none other than my Dallas Cowboys, all right? Yes, sir. We bring back the majority of our roster from the previous season. We did lose our starting left tackle. We did lose a key running back. We've added some pieces at that position, not really sold on them just yet, but we definitely have a very, very decent receiving core. And we also have one of the top defenses in the league. That's going to keep us in a whole lot of games. Teams will not be able to shoot out with us for the most part. As long as we're executing on the offensive side, the defensive guys are going to hold up their end of the bargain. And it should be good I believe we'll have a good year, win about 12 games, and then get knocked out in the playoffs early. Like every year, we just have some issues that we're working through. But don't worry about that yet. Right now, they're number 7. All right? Right now, they're number 7. Coming in at number 6 is a team I call Cowboys East. This is the Miami Dolphins. I call them Cowboy East because they will do the exact same thing that the Cowboys do every single year. Win 10, 11 games, get to the playoffs, and then it's a disaster for them. They do have a high-powered offense over there with Tua leading the way. I'm not a big Tua fan at all, but it is what it is. Tyreek Hill is out there playing out of this world, along with Jaden Waddle. So the team over there, they have a nice high-powered offense. Defense, they all right, but could need some work out there. But they should win. Everything's set up for the Dolphins to win the AFC East this year. Now it's just a matter of if they're going to do it. They haven't won it in about 20 years now, so let's see if they're able to actually put it together with a weaker division. Coming in at number 5, we have the Green Bay Packers. They had to be higher than Dallas simply because of how they did my boys in the playoffs last year. Not really sold on all their weapons on offense, but they made it look really, really good. Jordan Love, in his first year starting, looked pretty spectacular. Hopefully he doesn't have a sophomore slump, even though it's not his second season. He's second year as a starter, so we'll see what he's able to do with that team. The defense is also pretty good. I love Jair Alexander. He gives that team that swag that they've been missing for a while. Green Bay is coming in at number 5. So the next couple we have to redo because it's been some changes going on recently. So coming in at number 4, we're going to have the Baltimore Ravens. They highlight real football team, added Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson playing quarterback, making spectacular plays. Not really sold on any of the receivers. They're going to make plays based on Lamar Jackson's scrambling ability, but after that, the team's pretty much boring after that part. They should win the division. I do have Joe Burrow challenging them. They should win that division though, but after that, it's going to be pretty much the same old, getting knocked out of the playoffs and having to go back to the drawing board, making up excuses for why Lamar hasn't gotten the job done. And coming in at number 3, we're going to have the Detroit Lions. I have never been a big fan of the Lions. I was knocking them the last couple years, especially with Jared Goff on that team. But it was one thing about them. They get up and they play for their head coach, Dan Campbell. And they got Jared Goff looking like a actual #1 pick, like when he came out of college. They have a lot of weapons out there, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, adding 2 running backs. The defense has a nasty pass rush. The team is really good. I just got some new news about them today that a lot of their games are going to actually be played in a dome. Not really sure how that worked out for them, but they should have a really good season this year. And coming in at number 2 is the San Francisco 49ers. I hate them. I hate them. But it's one thing that they know how to do is play defense and keep the ball away from your offense as well. With Christian McCaffrey back there, Brandon Ayuk's finally in camp. They might start off a little slow, but Ayuk's in camp. They also have that nice defense over there. Keep them in ball games, gonna keep them battling. And it's just something about that 49er pride that's going on right now. So right now we got the 49ers coming in at number 2. And last but not least, you already know who it is. Until this man is gone or somebody else stands up and beats him, it's going to be Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. This young man proved to us last year that he's just as bad as he wants to be. He was able to win a Super Bowl with less than stellar wide receivers, a less than stellar team. Last year was a year to beat them. Nobody was able to do it, and he was still able to come away with the Super Bowl. Like I said, I do believe Joe Burrow can challenge him. He's the only quarterback to beat Mahomes in the playoffs other than Tom Brady, but he don't count. We don't count him. In the AFC, he's the only quarterback to have actually beat Mahomes in the playoffs. So it is what it is at this point. That is my top 32 teams in the NFL. I know y'all probably got a lot of questions. Hit me in my comment section. Send the link to somebody, your other friends, your family members. We can get this on and talk popping. We'll talk about it. Any discrepancies or anything that you might have questions about, let's get it all on the table and we'll talk about it. Respectfully though, however, right? Tomorrow's the kickoff of the NFL season. Look forward to seeing y'all for another 17 weeks.